Hi, I'm Joey Bachrach, and I'm an alcoholic.
And I'm Siobhan Garcia, and I'm a normie, and this is Totally Sober.
So you're the interviewer today. Today is an exciting episode.
It is. It is probably an emotional one, too. So everyone grab their box of tissues, and let's get started. Are you ready for today's interview?
I am. I'm a little bit nervous.
Well, don't have to be nervous. You have your favorite person to interview you.
I'm excited.
Interviewee. Is that what that's called? Or am I the interviewer?
You're the interviewer.
What's the interviewee?
The person who's
You?
being interviewed.
Okay. So, welcome back to another episode here. Today is actually a very special episode where we have a special guest.
Me.
Yeah,
Hi.
surprise, surprise. You guys know Joey, obviously. He is one of the stars of the show. So today I'm going to be asking you about your journey when, what it was like being adopted, what it was like growing up being adopted, and what it was like growing up being adopted and gay.
Yeah, that's a lot. It's a trifecta. I was adopted from birth, and I am openly gay. I'm also an alcoholic, so it's kind of neat. I enjoy. I mean, it's been a lot. It took a lot, but I've always accepted who I was from the beginning, as far as adoption is concerned.
Mm-hmm.
There's a book that my parents would read to me every single night growing up. From
Your adoptive parents.
So I'm actually glad you bring that up. So adoptive parents are different words and terms. So my adoptive parents, they're my real parents, the ones who raised me from birth, and then my biological family are the ones who I'm biologically related to.
Mm-hmm.
So my adoptive family, who you met a couple weeks ago, my mother Deborah and my since passed father Philip, adopted me from birth, which is neat. The story that my parents would read to me every night growing up was a book from Jamie Lee Curtis called Tell Me Again About the Night I Was Born.
I didn't know she was an author.
I didn't either, but it's a child's book, and I remember learning at a very young age what adoption was, and it's something that took great pride in my family. So it was never a secret. It wasn't like something to tell you when you're older kind of thing.
Right. Yeah, I think it would have made it so much more, not better, but just different under the circumstances of you didn't have to go through the process of being adopted when you were, older. You didn't, when you would know what's going on. So you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have that trauma of going to an orphanage.
That is correct. I have not been in an orphanage. How I came to be is actually really quite funny. It's obviously illegal now to do it the way that my parents did it, but
really?
Yeah.
Why?
I was found in the Spanish-speaking Penny Saver, which is the classified section of like a little newspaper kind of thing. So my parents placed an ad of a pregnant woman with her hands on her stomach, and it said in Spanish, "Need help." If so, please contact the number. And the number was my adoption attorney. And so my biological mother found that ad and called.
She responded to
that ad.
What?
So this was also I was born in 92. So this
people would actually read the classifieds.
Yeah.
Back then.
People would read the classifieds. It wasn't illegal to advertise that you wanted a child in them. So that's how
She just got around it by just saying need help.
Correct.
Wow.
And she contacted the number, and then the three of them met my biological.
How far along was your biological mother when your mother reached out to her?
She was pretty far along, or at least she was very much showing. And then, so yeah, she was very pregnant.
Wow.
And what I found out on my 21st birthday from my parents was that Sylvia had contemplated an abortion. So I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason.
Why did they wait to tell you on your birthday for that?
I don't know, honestly. I don't. I was in a different headspace. I mean, I was still drinking heavily. I've always wanted to meet my biological family. It's been no secret. The first time I asked my parents if I could meet with them was when I was 13.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason for that is in Judaism, when you turn 13, or if you're 12 for a girl, you have a bat mitzvah. Mm-hmm. And in the eyes of being Jewish, you are an adult. So I was like, okay, well, I want to meet my biological family. At 13, my parents very nicely said, how about let's wait until you're 18 and we can do it together. Waited till I was 18, but 18 I was still really deep in my addiction, so it wasn't the time or place to do that, and I didn't bring the conversation back up until I was 25, 24, 25-ish, and then I met with Sylvia and my half-siblings.
Wow. Did you go there alone, or did your mom come with you?
When I met with Sylvia, I met with her and my biological aunt, and the text that I wrote out to her, so I was able to locate her through a PI that my mom hired.
Okay.
And found her online, cross-referenced, did my due diligence, found out who she was, got her contact information, got her phone number, and I took a wild shot and I sent her a text message. And it was a lengthy text message basically introducing myself, saying, hi, I'm Joey Bachrach, and I was adopted, and my birthday is January 9th, 1992. Is your name Sylvia Hernandez? And she didn't respond.
At the door?
No, how the meeting happened.
Okay.
So I sent her a text message.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
And the text message was just a lengthy text introducing myself,
Mm-hmm.
who I was, who my parents were,
Mm-hmm.
and then also adding, I understand if you aren't or don't want to reach back out to me. It's totally fine. I don't
How
want
long did it take her to respond?
It took her about 30 minutes to respond, saying, no, I'm not. Yeah, she said, no, I'm not your mother. You have the wrong number.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's not how I thought it was gonna go.
No. It was a hard no.
Okay.
You are not my son, and I was totally okay with that. I had a feeling it was her anyway. And then the next morning at like 6 o'clock in the morning, she texts me back saying, yes, you are my son. Can I see you today?
Oh my gosh.
So it was a whirlwind of emotions.
She just needed that time to swallow, and
it's a big pill to swallow. And I was also a secret to my entire biological family. The only people who knew was my biological mother, her mother, and my biological aunt.
Mm-hmm.
So my half-siblings had no idea who I was.
Oh,
no one knew that I existed.
Okay,
So,
I didn't even know you had half-siblings.
I have 3 half-siblings on her side, and I don't know how many, if I have any, on my biological
close with
father.
them?
We're close enough. There is 2 of them live in El Salvador, and the other lives in Rialto.
Rialto.
It's California.
Okay.
It's like Riverside, I believe.
Okay.
Not too far from LA. So they're
We should have them on the show.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be spending some Christmas time with them.
Okay.
It'll be good.
Oh my gosh, that's such a whirlwind. Just to, for one, reach out for the first time, have her deny, essentially decline the offer.
Yeah.
And then she had an open, just clarity, I think, the next day, and wanted to get to know you, or at least get you to get to know her.
Yeah, she was very sweet. I met her at her sister's, and we spent about an hour getting to know each other, and I went on my way afterward. And then about 3 weeks after that initial meeting, she invited me to go to Honduras for a family vacation.
Oh my gosh.
Which was crazy. So I said yes, and that's where I was able to meet my 2 other half-siblings, all of my half-siblings essentially. And we were on a week-long vacation in a beautiful place.
Wow.
It was amazing.
That's so cool. Was it the first visit when you found out that she was also an alcoholic?
No, I didn't find out that she had a drinking problem until we were on our family vacation. And I'm a firm believer that obviously addiction, there's a lot that we understand and a lot that we do not understand. But I personally believe that it has to also do with genetics and it's hereditary. Here I am completely removed from my biological family, growing up separately, no affiliation, nothing, totally different areas, different life, different everything. But I struggle with addiction and alcoholism. And when I was on that trip, there were a few mannerisms that I noticed that she would do that I did when I was drinking. And one of them is this.
But you weren't sober at this time.
I was sober.
You
were. I was sober.
Okay.
But I saw myself in her when she was drinking.
Right.
Very similar, like head gestures and hand movements. I was like, this is freaking nuts.
That would have been trippy.
I was like, what is going on? So then I talked to her and I found out that, she's been open about, her drinking, and that's okay. And I'm guessing it was like a in and out, but not very, she's not in recovery, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So it was definitely interesting. And I was like, so it was a matter of time that I would have,
Yeah, picked up on the mannerisms and everything. So crazy. So going back to your mother, Deborah, and your father at the time, how did it come about to come out as gay?
Oh, okay.
And not just gay, but Jewish and gay?
Yeah, I'm a gay Jew. I'm a gay, proud Jew. My coming out story is a little unique in that I didn't voluntarily come out on my own, let alone to my family. It got out because I was in Israel, of all places, and there was a boy that I was seeing on and off. This was when I was like 15 and a half. This was a very long time.
Did you meet on like MSN or something?
No. We hung out in the same circles, like the same acting crowd way back when. And me being stupid, was seeing or dating a friend's boyfriend who I asked if they were dating, and he said no.
Okay.
So I took that as an invitation.
Well, that wasn't stupid. I mean, they told you no.
They told me no, but I knew that they were dating. I was 15 and a half, very dumb. And so when I was in Israel, that same friend told all of our friends, and then it got back to my parents. So I wasn't even in the country to defend myself, even though I didn't need defending, but it was a very, very tough situation for me to be in. Because
what did you do? Did you sit them down, or?
I was in a different country. I wasn't even home.
So Deborah wasn't with you?
No, I was in Israel.
Okay. So you called them?
I called them, and they said, it's okay, we always knew.
Okay, that's always so relieving. It's like the always knew. Like,
I mean, I would say off the record, but I've also been pretty vocal that I grew up playing with Barbie dolls. I don't care. I loved my Barbie dolls growing up. Got them for Hanukkah, got them for my birthday, and I was a huge fan with Bratz. So I think they knew my favorite color was pink.
See, I was never a Barbie doll person, but my brother had a Posh Spice doll. And he's a straight man today.
Well, see,
so you never know. You never know.
Dolls are for everyone.
Yeah.
But my family was very accepting. One thing that and with my father specifically, I was a little bit more concerned and worried about what he would think, because
I think, that makes sense.
He and I had a very, very close relationship. He took me to all my auditions, all my swim meets, and was like I loved my dad so much. And he was honest with me. He's like, I'm not extremely thrilled, but you are my son and I love you, and there's always surrogacy, there's adoption, so you're gonna...
So he was concerned about you having kids.
Yes, and probably what it would be like growing up openly gay. And at the time, I mean, back in, how old was I? Well, when I was 15 and a half, whatever year that was, I'm terrible at math. Gay marriage wasn't...
2000
a long time ago.
Yeah, I won't even do it.
Yeah, we're bad at math. Gay marriage wasn't even an option back then when I was 15. So I could only imagine what was going through his head when I came out, but he was very accepting. He met one of my first boyfriends, which was nice. So he was very like, Team Joey, my son's gay.
That's amazing. Oh my gosh. So. That is probably one of the best coming out stories.
Yeah.
Like, obviously very blessed, and I can relate with that too. I never actually came out until I came out as trans, because everyone just kind of knew, like you said, like we all know. Like my sister wasn't allowed to have her boyfriend sleep over, but I was allowed to have my girlfriends sleep over. You know. So yeah. So it's always good when the parents are accepting, which isn't always the case, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. So I do consider myself blessed in the grand scheme of things. It's it's been nice.
Right. So how was it growing up in school? Kids are always mean.
Kids sometimes suck. They're mean.
They're little bastards.
Kids can be extremely mean, like you said. I went to a predominantly Jewish white private school from pre-K to 5th grade, and kids were awful. I mean, I'm talking about every single day of school from 1st to 5th grade. I was being made fun of. I
can relate.
Fat. I was called dumpster child and dumpster baby, and the reason why they called me that
horrible
was because I was adopted, implying that I was a dumpster baby because my family didn't want me.
Yeah.
Or the maids help, which is ironic because our housekeeper was white, so it was totally fine. I was like, what? Everyone loves Tina.
Tina.
Tina is Tina's been with our family for a very long time, since as long as I can remember.
And her cat's name is Molly.
No, but yeah, so what I was saying is, like, kids are awful and they're mean, and they can suck sometimes. But
was it also because you weren't white either? Like, did you ever get made fun of for being one of the only, like, brown?
There were actually quite a few.
Oh, you grew up in LA.
I grew up in LA. Yeah. There weren't Hispanic or Latin kids really at my school, but there were a lot of Persian Jews, so there was a lot of color at school, but it was a different kind of there was just a different tone to it growing up. Because
how did you when did the bullying stop? After what grade did the bullying stop, if it did?
5th grade is when it technically stopped, because I didn't go back to that school after my last day. And the cool, popular kids on my last day, I mean, were singing na 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 na, hey hey hey, goodbye, and then they would insert to me, like Joey at the very end. So
that is really mean.
Kids are awful. So
well, lucky you that it stopped at grade 5. Yeah. Mine never stopped.
Yours never stopped?
No, not until I moved to another continent. Or not continent, I'm stupid. Another country.
Well, now here you are.
Yes. Yeah.
It's nice to, I mean, I'd like to think, I know karma took care of a few of them.
Always.
Karma always wins.
Karma wins.
Remember that, everyone. Be nice.
Be nice.
Karma
be kind.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm happy that it ended pretty early on. Yeah. That's good. And plus, you lived in LA, and I lived in a really small town, so it's not LA.
Yeah.
And you met Emily.
I did. So I actually met Emily after that school. I demanded that I go to a public school, which my family allowed me to go.
Oh, so it was private school.
It was private school.
Did you say that before?
I said Jewish day school is a private school. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
everyone I know.
And I loved public school.
Huh.
Yeah.
We need to have Emily on the show in December.
She's our Guam correspondent.
Yes. And you will meet her soon.
Yes. She's reporting not live from Guam.
Well, thank you for sharing your story about adoption with me and our viewers. It was really interesting, and I cannot even imagine what it would have been like. So thank you for sharing with us today.
Thank you for having me.
You grew up so brave and smart and strong and
gay,
and you should be proud. So
I'm very proud.
Good, and I think everyone is proud of you too.
So I'll let you close us out then.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching today's episode, and make sure you subscribe and hit that ding button above. I'm always used to saying ding.
Okay.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
What do we say again? Oh, yeah. So don't forget to click subscribe and hit that ding button above. I don't remember what I say. I never close.